What if I told you that the secret to better mobility, especially as we get older, wasn't about more movement, but about holding perfectly still? I know, it sounds completely backward, but the science behind this is absolutely incredible. So let's dive into how stillness can literally unlock your body. I mean, we're always told to stretch more, move more, motion is lotion, but this idea right here, it flips that on its head. What if a huge piece of the puzzle lies in static strength, in retraining your brain? That's the powerful concept we're going to unpack today. And look, this isn't just some wacky theory. A really groundbreaking study found that a staggering 95% of adults between 65 and 80 showed real, measurable improvements in their mobility after just 12 weeks of this kind of training. Seriously, let that sink in. 95%. That's almost everybody. So what's the magic here? Well, these are called isometric holds. That's just a fancy way of saying you're tensing a muscle without actually moving. It's totally different from stretching. In fact, a huge review found isometrics got 47% better results for joint stability. Why? Because you're strengthening muscles right where they're weakest, and you're reteaching your brain how to turn those muscles on in the first place. Okay, so let's get practical. We're going to count down the 5 most effective isometric holds that can completely transform your mobility. And we're starting from the bottom up, building the foundation with number 5. So coming in at number 5, we are tackling something called quad dominance deficiency. Look, all that means is that as we age, our quads can get weaker. And when that happens, our hips and our back have to pick up the slack, and they are not happy about it. That creates all these imbalances that lead to pain. The simple wall sit forces your entire leg, your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, to learn how to work as a team again. And the beautiful thing about the wall sit is just how simple it is. You just slide down the wall. The most important thing is finding a depth that feels challenging, but you can actually hold it. Don't even worry about getting to a perfect 90 degrees at first. The real key is just holding that position, breathing, and feeling those muscles fire up for about 30 to 60 seconds. And what does that actually do for you in the real world? Well, a study found that doing wall sits regularly led to a 23% improvement in the ability to just get up from a chair. Think about that. Getting out of your car, off the toilet, up from the dinner table, all of it gets dramatically easier. All right, now for hold number 4. This one tackles a fascinating and really, really common problem, gluteal amnesia. And yes, that is a real medical term. It literally means your brain kind of forgets how to switch on your glute muscles, and it happens to almost 3/4 of adults over 60. When your glutes are sleeping on the job, your lower back takes all the strain, and that leads to that classic nagging backache. The fix is the glute bridge hold. So you lie on your back, you lift your hips, but here's the most critical part. You have to consciously squeeze your glutes at the top. This isn't just about going through the motions, it's about sending a signal. You're waking up those sleepy muscles and reminding your brain, hey, use these. Hold that squeeze tight for 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, so we've built the foundation with the wall sit and the glute bridge. Now for holds 3 and 2, which are all about unlocking the joints that tend to get the most stiff and restricted over time. At number 3, we have the deep squat. This is humanity's natural resting posture. I mean, you see little kids do it effortlessly all the time, right? But somewhere along the way, we lose it. In fact, one study even linked the inability to get into a deep squat with a reduced life expectancy. This hold helps us get that essential mobility back in our ankles, our knees, and our hips, all at the same time. Now, the key word here is supported. You are not trying to be a powerlifter. Just grab onto a sturdy door frame or a heavy piece of furniture and use your arms to gently lower yourself down. The goal isn't to hit the floor, it's to go as low as you can while keeping your heels down. You just let gravity and a little bit of leverage do all the work for you. And just look at the payoff you get from this one single hold. A 27% jump in ankle mobility, a massive 33% in hip mobility, and a 22% improvement in lower back flexibility. See, this isn't just about one joint. It is a total game changer for your entire lower body. All right, coming in at number 2 is a hold that fights an enemy most of us face every single day, the chair. Sitting all the time shortens these muscles on the front of your hips called the hip flexors. This constant tension pulls your pelvis forward, which squishes your spine, and it's one of the biggest causes of lower back pain out there. Now, here's how we make this stretch isometric and way more effective. You get into a lunge, and then you tuck your pelvis, sort of like you're pointing your belt buckle to your chin, until you feel a good stretch. Then here's the secret. You actively press your back foot down into the floor, creating tension right in the muscle you're stretching. This little contract and hold trick signals a much deeper release than just passively hanging out in the stretch. And now we have arrived, the number one most essential hold. And this one might really surprise you because it doesn't target the lower body at all. But I'm telling you, its impact is felt from your head all the way down to your toes. The source material for this explainer put it perfectly. The effects of this one single hold were so profound that, and I quote, the results literally made researchers do a double take. And here it is, the doorway, chest, and shoulder stretch. So why is this number one? Because of something called the cascade effect. Rounded shoulders, which affect over 80% of adults over 60, don't just stay in your shoulders. They lock up your upper back, which then forces your lower back to overwork. It messes with your balance, and it restricts mobility through your entire body. It all starts up top. So to do this the isometric way, you stand in a doorway, place your forearms on the frame, you take a small step forward until you feel a good stretch across your chest. Now hold that position, and for about 20 seconds, actively press your forearms into the door frame, like you're trying to push it apart. Then, you relax that press, but you stay in the stretch. This contract-relax cycle basically tricks your muscles into letting go on a much deeper level. And here is that cascade effect in reverse. Just look at these numbers. This one upper body hold led to a 58% reduction in lower back pain, a 41% improvement in shoulder mobility, and get this, a 21% improvement in balance. It is absolute proof that your body is all one connected system. So we've covered the 5 essential holds. Now, the most important part, how do we turn this knowledge into a powerful, consistent daily habit? So here they are again, your complete mobility toolkit. You've got the wall sit for rock-solid leg stability, the glute bridge to wake up those glutes, the supported squat for total lower body freedom, the hip flexor stretch to undo all that sitting, and the big one, the doorway stretch, to fix your posture and unlock your entire body. And you know what the best part is? You don't need hours and hours. The research is crystal clear. Consistency beats everything. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day, running through these 5 holds is all it takes to see significant, life-changing improvements. No gym, no special equipment, just you and a little bit of floor space. So we'll end on this thought. The evidence is just overwhelming. These simple, static holds can fundamentally change your mobility, they can slash your pain, and they can improve your quality of life. The science is proven. The only question left is, are you going to do the work?